Good Wednesday morning to you. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marters. This is your outlook for October 9th, 2013. And today's going to be a transition day between tomorrow's coastal low that's expected to move up the coastline here and the high pressure that's sitting to our north here that has been providing a nice day for us on your Tuesday. This high pressure is actually going to still be in the same position tomorrow. It's actually a little bit further east than it was today. So this is where your high pressure is. Your low pressure is sitting right down here off the Carolinas, and it's going to be creeping very, very slowly northward. But it's running into this high pressure, so we don't think we'll have any precipitation breaking out here on Wednesday, except in southern areas here. As you get to Wednesday evening, you may have some showers starting down here by Cape May and the coastal regions of southern New Jersey. But I think once, for the rest of the area, because you're sandwiched between this high and low, you're going to have an onshore flow, and that's going to, any sun that does occur early on will fade quickly behind increasing cloudiness throughout the day. As we get into the overnight hours, this precipitation does move forward. Now, this is the latest GFS. This is the one that ran at 0Z on 0Z Wednesday. So we do have the precipitation heavy along the shoreline here. May have some windy conditions as well with this system here, but the precipitation for everywhere else inland is going to be generally just a light but yet steady rain here on Thursday, and that will linger into the overnight hours, maybe even break for some of the inland areas. But then looking at Friday now on the new GFS, there's really no precipitation at all except for a few spotty showers on the inland areas, and even the southern New Jersey area is really not what it was showing in previous runs of the GFS. So the GFS is still less than impressed with this system. We have been siding with the GFS on this system all along, so some of these really crazy totals we're seeing out here, namely from the European model and the Canadian model, putting some 2 to 3, some even 4 inches of rain over our areas, just we think is nonsense. So we're going to stick with the lighter amounts here, and this system actually moves out of our area completely for the weekend, which we have at this moment. We have dry, except maybe for extreme southern areas here. We may get into a shower yet. Now we're going to take a look at the future radar from the NAM here. This is starting off with the system down here. This is on Wednesday. And this Wednesday evening was moving into, in the overnight hours, you got some rain moving into the inland areas here as well. But look what it does on Friday. Just dries up and disappears. So the NAM is one model is in agreement with now. The GFS is the latest NAM as well. So we're not really talking about a lot of precipitation here. Maybe some right along the coastline here. You might be dealing with some high surf and some windy conditions. But we're only talking about wind sustained probably 20, 30 miles an hour, not anything gale force like we have these advisories up here. I'm actually surprised that we have these advisories up in this area, but that's issued by the National Weather Service, and they felt the threat was there for that to happen. So one of the reasons why there's a curveball with the system here is this is the European model, the latest from earlier today. And look what it does here. It has, this is Thursday, has some heavier rains even getting to the inland areas, and it has the precipitation somehow, even with a high pressure up here, which you would think would prevent this from happening, has precipitation getting all the way up to Syracuse and Albany, and I really just don't see that happening. And it keeps this precipitation in this area with the low pressure just stalled offshore here, keeps this precipitation the entire weekend, and also in early next week, which I just think is absurd, and we're not following this guidance whatsoever. I'm not sure what's going on with the European model, and I think it's handling the trough split, very poorly, and that's causing these little issues here with it stalling off the coast here. Now the system is going to stall. I just don't think it's as robust as the European model has it. So what does that mean? Well, here's what the GFS has for precipitation here. Not very much. At a little down in the southern areas here, along the coastline, you could get into areas over an inch of rain here, but further inland, you're only talking about a quarter, maybe a half an inch, and mostly for areas from the southern Poconos and Lehigh Valley and points southeast. And if you go to the European model, wow, big difference. You got 2, 3, some 4-inch, 5-inch rain totals here. I mean, these are just ridiculous rain amounts here. But again, we think it's going to be more something like this here, where you just have some very light showers for the inland areas, and the coastal regions may get a little bit, right along the coast here, might get a little bit more. But we're not talking about anything overly significant for this area either. We'll update this on the Facebook page as we get more information come in on Wednesday, but right now this is our outlook for what we're looking at for this system, and just keeping everything on the lighter side of things, not these robust totals that you're seeing floating around there. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchus, and this is your outlook for October 9th, 2013. Have a great Wednesday.